Zeno gives many arguments against motion. In this particular argument, Zeno says that a body, in order to move from one point to another, must move through an infinite number of spaces. So if we look at the distance that this dog has to travel in order to get to the doghouse, he has to travel all of this distance. If we just take a part of that distance in between these two red lines and we just say that's a foot, well, let's think about the foot for a second. Can it be divided into separate parts? Yes, the foot can be divided into halves. Well, can those halves be divided? Yes, the halves can be divided into 4 parts. What about those 4 parts? Can they be divided? Yes, they can be divided too into 8 parts. And then they can be divided into 16 parts. And then they can be divided into 32 parts. I mean, you get the drift here? There is an infinite amount of parts just in this 1 foot distance that we took out. If there is an infinite amount of parts, an infinite amount of steps, how would you ever travel through that? You couldn't possibly travel through an infinite amount of steps. It would be impossible. Nobody can travel through steps ad infinitum. It's impossible. You would never reach the end point. So what this means is that motion is illusory. Motion is not possible. It seems as if people do travel. It seems as if people do reach their destination. We see dogs walk from one destination to the doghouse. We see people travel from work to home. But this is impossible according to Zeno because each amount of distance is an infinite amount of steps. And nobody can travel through an infinite amount of steps because something that's infinite never ends. You would never reach the destination. Zeno is reinforcing the argument from Parmenides that says motion is impossible because whatever is and whatever is not is not. There can be no change. Our eyes are not giving us proper information. Our sense experience is not trustworthy.